This is another Talking Things Through video, and we're going to talk about the outside door handles on the Oldsmobile. I want to get rid of these. A standard thing for custom cars of the era that I'm going for is no outside door handles. It's called shaving the door handles. It's a thing you just did, basically. There's a couple of options for how to do it, and I'm torn because they all have their positives and negatives. The quote-unquote easiest version is I take these off, I weld up the holes in the door, and I get an electronic popper kit, which will use an electric solenoid to push or pull or whatever the door latch so that it opens the door. And you put a little spring-loaded pusher, basically, in the door frame that pushes the door open. So that you don't have to worry about the fact that there's no handle to grab onto. You just, the door will, when you pull the thing, the door will pop open, so you grab the edge, you open the door. You can do that with an electronic key fob. You can do that with a button, hidden or otherwise. In this case, if I was going to do that, there's a piece of trim up here that I could very easily just put a chrome waterproof button in. It would be pretty subtle. It would look fine, look great. Advantage, easy. There's a billion companies that sell the kit. It won't cost me much. They're not that hard to set up. You just basically have to solidly mount the thing and run a cable to the latch. No big deal. If I want to put electric buttons in the doors, I have to run power to the doors. Or for any of this, I have to run power to the doors. That kind of sucks because this car didn't have power run to the doors. So I have to drill holes in the door frame, run cabling. It's a little bit of, that part's a little bit of a faff, but the actual kit itself is not a big deal. The thing that sucks about them is if your battery goes dead, you can't open your doors. The solution for that is you run a cable to the driver's door and you hide the other end of the cable in the engine compartment somewhere. So if battery's dead, you open the hood, you reach down into whatever corner you've hidden the end of that cable, you pull it, the driver's door pops open, you can get into the car. Once you have the driver's door open, you can open all the other ones from the inside. I don't like this solution a lot. It's the common thing, it's what everybody does. It's probably, in the end, the easiest and the cheapest, but I just don't trust the electronic door openers. It's just, I've had too many cars with problems, electrical problems, mechanical problems, cars that have died on the side of the road with no power, and having to now add a whole complication to get in and out of it because of that is something I just kind of want to avoid. So that's an option. It's not my favorite one. The other option is something mechanical on the door that you push or pull or whatever to open the door. Easiest solution for that are what are called Lincoln door buttons. I'm going to put a picture of them up here. These came on just pre-World War II and just post-World War II Lincolns instead of a door handle. You just had this chrome button. You basically pushed it in, it pushed the latch, the door popped open. I can get original Lincoln buttons. There's a company that makes reproduction ones that look basically the same. They're not close enough. You can't interchange. I would have to choose one or the other, but they're close enough. That would be fairly easy because basically where the lock button is, the push button is right now here, is essentially where you mount the Lincoln button, and you just add a spacer or do some tweaking or whatever so that the Lincoln button pushes on your latch the way that did. And then you have the popper that pushes the door out. Done. Easy enough. Problem is, that's going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of $500 for the 4 buttons plus the bodywork to do them. The bodywork I'm not so worried about, but the $500 is kind of, this project is hurting. And then we come into fully custom options. And I don't have any brilliant solutions there yet. So that's kind of where I am. I've been thinking through a couple things. Some people have given me suggestions, but there's been nothing brilliant. I've seen, there was one guy who made essentially like the Lincoln buttons, except that it was just a flush circle on the door that you pushed, which looked really cool, but it involved custom machining work to get it, to make it, and I can't do that. I'd have to farm that out. We're back to it costing me who knows how much. There's no other easy button alternatives that I've been able to find. I've kind of looked and there's nothing really out there. There's one other company that makes flush door handles that you push one end in and the door handle sort of swings out, and then you pull it the rest of the way to unlock the door and pull it open. Those are $300 something per set, and I would need 2 sets. So again, we're out of luck there for cost effectiveness, and I'm not super keen on them. They look a little too modern. So then so full custom options, I can try and build a button myself out of stuff that needs no machining. Haven't found anything easy, still looking into it, not really clear on it. One thing that's been a possibility is where this seam is right here, where this little bit between the doors is, to take out a chunk of that, open up a little bit of the front door, a little bit of the back door, so you can put your fingers in there, and then have a thing where you'd slide your fingers in and do this and push a latch. That could work. I'm not sure I like the idea of a big opening over here. And unfortunately, to experiment with what it would look like involves cutting a big opening over here. And then if I don't like it, I have a bunch of rejiggering to do. Again, up in that trim up there, I could kind of do something, but I don't, again, have any brilliant solution to that. The back door is a little bit easier, oddly, because it has the, where is it? There it is. It has the same door handle. But if I'm going to build something custom, somebody pointed something out to me, which is this little gap space here. On the other side, it's a little bigger because this door is actually fitted a little too far in. You can see the edge. This door should be out slightly. And when I do the body work, I'll adjust that. But that opens to an opening in here. So theoretically, I could cut this a little bigger here and do the same thing with having a button in there, like a latch that you can push, and it would, push a lever, or I would change the door latch out or whatever. So for this door, you would reach up, you'd stick your hand in here and you'd pull, and that being a little bit bigger would be very subtle. There isn't a corresponding spot on this door, unfortunately, because I have this chrome trim here which precludes cutting here because the trim wraps around and secures itself down in there. Again, I talked about cutting in here, but if you just look at my finger width, I can't just take this out. I would have to open it into here, and I just fear that would sort of mess with that line even more than the door handle does. So that's kind of where I am. It's just another thinking through, see if anybody else has a brilliant idea, see if anybody else has seen something that might work. So yeah, let me know if you've got any ideas. Let me know if you've seen something somewhere that you thought was really cool. That was a clever, purely mechanical solution to the problem. I thought about this little trim piece here being a thing where you pulled this up and I would just move the door latch from inside the door to inside the pillar to allow that to work, but that's again a whole faff to accomplish. So yeah, think it through, see if you can come up with anything, see if you've seen anything, and just let me know. And who knows, I might take you up on your idea. Thanks very much. Have a good night.